thank you all for coming out today to attend the unveiling of our solar roof. My name is Jaap Vos. I'm the director of the School of Urban and Regional Planning, and I'm very excited to be here and to share this exciting moment and unique moment for school. Before I start my remarks, I want to acknowledge the presence of some of the people that have joined us today. We have President Armstrong from BCC. David Curry, Chairman of the FAU Foundation. Peter Mello from the FAU Foundation. Aman Grossman, Board of Trustees. A.B. Cohen from Board of Trustees. Jim Noggle, Mayor of Fort Lauderdale. We have Jim Murley, the Florida Energy and Climate Commission, the chair. And I know we have several representatives of the Broward County Climate Change Task Force. All right, welcome everybody. Over the past year, I have given all kinds of presentations about the solar roof. And most of the time I talk about the benefits of solar energy, I talk about the reduction of fossil fuel use, technical specifications of our installation, I talk about what makes our roof unique, which is a retrofit of an existing high-rise building in downtown. Today I'm not going to talk about any of that. Instead, what I want to do is I want to tell you the story. I want to tell you the story about how this was done, because I think that is really interesting, especially from the perspective of an educational institution. So, the story I think is about education, it's about passion, it's about commitment of a large group of people, as you can see on the slide behind me. We would not have been able to do it without the help of all these people that are on here, and I really want to thank them for all that they've done on this project. So, I'm going to let some slides run behind me. The story of this roof started actually in the summer of 2007 with a group with two students that wanted to do our planning project. And the planning project, they have to do the following thing. The course syllabus says, the course should result into a synthetic work resulting in a research paper, a planning document, or a film or three-dimensional model. Rachel Kalin and Don Tietzel talked with me about writing a plan for a sustainable downtown campus. And at the end of the semester, they had produced these two reports, right? Final project about creating a more sustainable downtown campus. Their conclusion was basically downtown staff has done a remarkable job here. We've had all kinds of energy savings procedures, and if any of you has gone to the bathroom, you will notice that the light goes on when you walk in, which I thought was very annoying in the beginning, but it saves a lot of energy because the lights are not on 24/7. They said the next step should be a solar roof on this building. They said it was perfect for it, and that's what we should try to achieve. So, consequently, Rachel took an independent studies course with me to write a proposal, and you actually have the proposal in the little folder. And this is the funny thing, from two big projects, all that ended up is this little piece of paper. 2 pages. And I told Rachel, if you write 2 pages, we will try to find the funding. Well, this is the most interesting thing, and I still remember this very clearly. One day, Rachel and I were sitting in my office brainstorming about this project. And Rachel said something, and I'm not quite sure what she said. But she said something like, it would be a really good sustainable development, really good example of sustainable development, if we would somehow could turn these savings into a scholarship. And I think that turned it around. And that made everything work. When it came together, things moved really quickly. People liked the idea of supporting this. They really liked the idea, I think, of having a scholarship out of the savings. And it took us until, what was it? It took us about June to raise all the money that was needed. So in June, we had the money to start doing this. And then it took another 5 months to finish all the paperwork. We had to pull permits, we had to coordinate with the state, we had to coordinate with FPNL, we had to coordinate with all our own internal auditors, and it took until about October before all the paperwork was finally done. Until the magical day, I think it was November 10th or somewhere around there, all of a sudden, all this, what you've seen behind me, started happening. What is amazing to me is that in a period of about 8 days, the solar roof itself was actually built. That's all it took. All these people went out there and they started building this roof for us. And as we speak, we now have a roof. We have a roof that is producing energy, a roof that is working. We've already taken people out of it. I'm going to move quickly through some of these slides. Here you see some more of the things. We will post all the stuff on our website, so if you want to look at it, you can just take your time and see what this construction will entail. End of day 5, here was the roof. It was just a pretty picture. Then we continued linking the panels, all these different steps that they need to go through to make this work. Running the cables to the switch, and when you come up there, I would like you to look around and see all these things that are happening on the roof and see how this actually works and how relatively simple this is. And here is the finished roof. You will be able to see that very shortly. Now, the next picture is what I think it's all about. Day 8, the roof was barely finished. We already used this in our class. So we're teaching students, here's me teaching some of our students about the solar roof, and here finally we are on the roof. And I think this is what this all is about. For many people, they think that the project is done, and maybe it was, but for us it has come full circle. And for us as a School of Urban and Regional Planning, the work is starting now. We started with education and we're back to education. The next challenge for us is to write down everything that we have learned from this project. So that others can learn from our mistakes. I'm sure we made a couple. We will monitor energy production. We will monitor energy savings, dollar savings, maintenance requirements, and everything else that might be helpful to owners of other buildings. We will give tours, we will give presentations. Of course, we will use the roof in our own classes and in the class of the School of Architecture. So, education continues. I want to quickly go through this here. On our webpage, I hope that you will go on our webpage and look at some of the things that we've already posted on there. Our webmaster worked really hard yesterday to put this on there. The first thing that you find, which is part of this education, is this link, FAUsolar.com. When you walked into this building, you might have actually seen on the monitor this particular picture here. It's also on the monitor right in front here. Later on, please go on there and look at it. This monitor actually tells you how much energy we're producing currently, how much energy we have produced the last week, and over our lifetime of the roof. So please check this out. The other thing, you click on the other link here, is our Innovation in Planning Scholarship, also known as the Solar Scholarship, and I'm very proud of it. I'm very excited that we are actually, I think we really are the first program in the world that has a scholarship that's completely funded by the sun. I think it's exciting. Doesn't that look good in your resume? I was funded by the sun. Okay, so finally, I want to end with a challenge. I want to challenge all of you, property owners, building owners, FAU. I want to challenge you to do the same. There's lots of roofs on FAU campuses. There's lots of roofs in downtown. This is a picture of downtown. Look at our website. Look at the things we have done. Learn from it. Take advantage of what we have done. And see if it's feasible to do the same thing. And when you do the same thing, if you decide it, I want you to think about maybe establishing a scholarship. Maybe at FAU, maybe somewhere else.